Gosh, my Yeti cup takes so long to fill because it has so much space.
I'm heading out. You've been fabulously helpful.
Already? Before you go, Espio and I wanted to give you your presents.
My presents? You're both too sweet. Thank you.
Vector, it seems we have more guests.
Amy, there you are.
Want to join us in finding clues?
Flattered, but at the pace you two are going, Sonic's murderer will never get found.
Oh, she's confident. She must have something up her sleeve.
My tip is just too juicy to ignore. I'll see you all around.
What do you mean by that?
Don't worry, Sonic. I'll be the one to avenge you, and quick!
But how are you gonna leave? The door to the next car is locked.
Oh, you doubt the birthday girl?
Nice.
The birthday girl has a master key. I'll solve this case before anyone else. Bye!
Amy must be hasty, but she is thorough.
Now, what are you two doing? Looking mighty suspicious, I say.
I'm the detective, so I can't be the murderer.
And I, here to ask if anyone's hungry.
Starved? I'd kill for a chicken parmesan right about now.
Maybe kill isn't the right language to use right now.
I'm Vector, the butcher. I'm licensed to handle raw meat.
You can't say that.
Go on. No, I dare
No.
I triple dog dare ya.
I don't think you can deliver that line and not make it weird.
You got it. No laughter, no smiles.
I'm Vector, the butcher. I'm licensed to handle raw meat.
And I'm Espio, the poet.
Ah, poetry. A resident message from poet to reader, meant to challenge our delicate perspectives with the most rhythmic of prose. Can I hear some?
Sure. Teardrops in the spring. Can you hear me sing? La la la. Dee 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 dee.
Was that it?
I have more if you like. Cherry blossoms in the spring.
I'm satisfied for now, thanks.
At least he's worthy, I suppose.
Barry and I are here to establish both of your alibis. Can you walk us through what happened after Amy had everyone leave the dining car?
Oh sure, it's simple. We just explained this to Amy, actually. When we were all sent off, Rouge, Blaze, Shadow, and Sonic all passed through this library car, where Amy told me and Espio to stay. I promptly picked a...
I promptly picked a book off the shelf and made myself comfortable. Vector got bored, so he left to see what Knuckles was up to in the saloon car.
Yeah.
Where was Rouge? Did you happen to see her lipstick stain on a cup at the saloon car?
Rouge came over to the library car, seemingly looking for something. Then she went to search the saloon car. She came back shortly after. We heard her shout, "No way!" at the brochure stand over there. But she left back to the casino car before Shadow came through and locked the door.
Wonder what she found. She's obviously been on the hunt for something.
After Rouge left, Shadow walked through the casino car. Then he entered the library car and locked the door behind him.
More importantly, why is Shadow locking doors?
Shadow walked through the library car to the saloon car where Knuckles and I were playing games. He insisted on showing us up at Super Monkey Ball. I got so engrossed by the rolling monkey action, I hardly noticed when Shadow left the saloon car.
Why you say these things, Vector?
Why you say this?
I guess he walked through the library car to the casino car again, locking the door behind him. Then returned to the lounge car where he was meant to be stationed.
When Vexter came back, we realized Knuckles locked the door to the saloon car and we were stuck in the library car.
That's when the train sped up. We were worried about the bookshelves falling on us, but we got through it all right.
We sat trapped here until Amy arrived asking questions. She's the one that told us someone murdered Sonic.
With all these locked doors, it seems Vector or Espio couldn't have left the library card or the saloon car.
Thank you both for your cooperation. We're just gonna peek around, and we'll return with any questions.
If you return with any meat, I'll chop it up for you.
And if you'd like to be serenaded with a poem, I got you covered too.
Thanks, guys. Their alibis seem solid enough, but we should still search for some clues. What we're looking for is evidence that proves what they're saying is true.
We need to confirm Vector's reason for leaving his post and determine if Espio is actually in the library card reading. A tall task, but we can do it. Let's get to the bottom of this, Tails.
Absolutely!
Thump, 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 thump. Robot.
Oh, poor thing. Arm's really struggling to clean up this car.
To be fair, I wouldn't want to clean up all this mess either. Let's just leave it alone. To do its thing.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Okay. Anything sus? Okay, book.
Maybe we'll go 3 for 3 in the trash.
Oh, dude, yeah. Something's always hidden in the trash. Let's check there.
I hate to say it, but there's nothing here.
I really thought there'd be something there.
Barry, are you sad there is nothing in the trash bin?
No, I'm alright.
I'm sure there'll be something hidden in the next trash bin we find.
You really think so?
Yeah. We just gotta stay optimistic.
Yeah, okay. These trash bins hide a secret, I'm sure of it.
Barry, you're pretty unconventional, but I like that.
Oh, was that supposed to be a compliment? Okay, where you wanna go? This one?
Yeah, just check that.
Wow, I wish I could stop and look at all these books. But Sonic needs me. No time to rest.
Alright, let's move on then.
Well, I mean, a little peek wouldn't hurt.
He's savaging through all the book titles excitedly. It's like a kid in the candy shop, or in this case, Genie's in a train library.
That's odd. I know some books have fallen out onto the floor and everything, but every book on these shelves is in alphabetical order, but this one. It's a user's guide to the Mirage Express, the train we're currently on.
Do you think someone found it on the ground and put it back?
Maybe, but it is interesting. Let's make note of this.
I will check this book though. What's this bright red book?
Yuck, it reeks of the evil scientist Dr. Eggman. Yup, this Dr. Eggman's autobiography and recipe book.
What kind of recipes?
Who cares? I wouldn't trust a book he's written. It's weird. It's even here.
Maybe people just appreciate novels?
You may not be wrong.
Alright, time to go.
Oh, brochures! There are travel destination ideas in here, like amusement parks, caverns, hotels, restaurants. Oh! Barry, look at this! There's a couple maps in here too.
Well, this seems to be a map of the library car. The books are categorized by genre, which are listed here.
I love a good overhead map. Let's take it.
Yay, library map. Should we take this brochure about the cave too? Oh look, there's stalactites.
Nah, leave it.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Nobody shares my fondness for caves.
Fancy a poem?
Can I get a poem about space?
I've made it up to space with my beloved antique face, but a mistake in my haste dropped the vase from my embrace. So my antique I must now replace.
What caused you to drop the vase?
Don't read too deeply into it. It's just a poem.
He hasn't thought it through, has he?
Let's talk to Vector.
Did you bring me any meat to chop? I may be a butcher, but they confiscated my meat cleaver before getting on the train.
You actually tried to bring a knife onto the train?
I'm a man of authenticity, Tails. Without a knife, I'm just a chef in a ketchup-stained apron, not a butcher.
I think if you had a knife, we'd definitely think you were the murderer.
But what if I hid the knife?
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of this line of thought.
Can I take your order?
Can you take your order?
Oh yes, please, I'm starved.
Actually, I'm off duty at the moment. Murder mystery is more important.
Then why would you show the menu to me?
Come on, Barry. Why would you tease him like that?
And here I thought I could trust you. You've made a fool of me.
Look, Barry, you've made him a fool.
Come on, Barry. Move this over. No! I'm the fool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I smooth things over and I'm gonna pass.
Shadow supposedly walks through the library before going into the saloon car. When Shadow left the library, he locked this door on his way out.
There's gotta be a reason he's doing this. Should we make a note of it?
Yeah, I do believe we should. Think we found enough clues? Let's go interrogate Vector and Espio to find out what really happened.
Fancy a poem?
So, the two of you don't believe us, eh?
It's not that I don't trust either of you, but I wouldn't be a proper detective without examining the validity of your alibis. Barry and I are here to confirm two things. Why Vector left to go play video games with Knuckles, and if Espio was really reading in the library car.
Vector, we'll start with you. Why did you leave the library car to visit Knuckles? We're prepared to present evidence if needed.
Oh, that's easy. I got bored. What?
That wasn't entertaining enough. Him enough, seems. Vector enjoys being social.
Plus, we were instructed to mingle. I remembered the arcade machine in the saloon car, so I figured I'd go check it out.
This seems to line up with the information we gathered with Knuckles.
Then that brings our attention to you, Espio. Rouge entered the library car, found something, then left. You said you immediately started reading, but were you actually reading the entire time you were in the library car?
Of course he was. Once Espio starts reading, he doesn't stop till it's done. I've seen it happen.
It must have been a good read. What was the book?
Espio doesn't owe you that, detective. Let the man live. What if it was embarrassing?
What kinds of things do you think I read?
If you won't talk, I have a hunch of what book it might be. Barry, could you help me out?
Alright, Barry. What book do we think Espio might have been reading?
Could it have been
The book that we picked up?
the book that we
This
picked
one?
up?
A manual? You think Espio was reading instructions? What argument could you possibly have to support this?
It's so easy when you don't have a million things bombarded at you at once.
There are books scattered around the floor, sure, but the remaining books on the shelves were all in alphabetical order. All except this manual, meaning someone at the very least picked up the manual and put it back in the incorrect place. The lack of attention to details isn't normally like you, Espio.
Hey now, I won't have you insulting my pal like this.
Calm down, Vector. I know you mean well, but I can handle myself.
Apologies, Espio.
A butcher and a poet. Friendship can form anywhere.
That is indeed the book I was reading. The Mirage Express Manual. Trains are cool.
In that case, we'd like to ask you a few questions about the manual. Barry, if you don't mind. Could you ask SBO some questions about the manual? Just flip to a page and ask away.
Oh, I see. Please ask me about the manual until you read it. What page should I change them on? 97. What efficient and extremely accurate technology was installed to assist in keeping the train spotless?
Robotic arms. During events, they can perform a variety of tasks and are responsible for cleaning up trash and messes afterwards.
I remember the conductor saying the train could clean itself. So I have a feeling the train company just didn't want to hire any janitors.
The robotic arms can also detect weapons or explosives being brought onto the train, ensuring passenger safety.
Seems like SBO aced the question. Barry, hit him with another one.
Oh, okay, which page? 231. What is the Mirage Express's cancellation policy?
No refunds, and you will be charged a no-show fee. This does not apply if you're over the age of 65.
Gee, the person who made this rule must have been over 65.
Last one, Barry. See if SBO can get 3 for 3.
Not sure, what should I do for the last page? 42 or 16?
16.
16! What was implemented to support the conductor duties and ease general trade obligations?
An intelligent data processing system that works in tandem with the conductor to assume smooth travel for guests.
I remember this. The train has an autopilot, but it can't be accessed. But it can't access its full suite of capabilities without the conductor present.
Now, did I pass your little test?
Yep. Totally. It was wild you were able to retain all this information so quickly.
A poet's brain is often surprising.
I don't know if I'd be bragging about that.
You've clearly read the manual. Those answers feel far too specific to be guesses.
And you both had the nerve to question my buddy like that. Don't we want to be supporting folks who read?
Just a minute though. Reading the entire time a murder occurred does sound a bit suspicious, even if it's true. But he answered all my questions so calmly. Very impressive.
No, I understand. Everyone's cautious attitudes. Vector was the only one who seen me reading after all. My alibi is hard to substantiate despite being the truth.
Well, you definitely read through the manual, so I suppose we could...
SBO, is that true? Vector was the only one to see you reading.
Yes, that's correct. Problem?
Frankly, I don't believe that could be true. And we have evidence to back it up. Barry?
You must be on the spot. Okay, Barry. Think. We should have a piece of evidence. Like for someone who else to ask you reading. What?
Shadow, because he had at some point had to have come through.
Yeah, it's either.
So, I think either of those will work. But
Let's try this one.
Yeah.
Please, pray tell. What this has to do with anything.
We're up, Barry. Let's get our argument together.
Shadow walked through the library car to get to the saloon car, where he set the original high score of the arcade machine.
That was Tails.
Well, Tails literally like,
Barry, what do you think?
so
Yeah.
I think we should have Barry sing it, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's this. Barry, what do you think?
Well, Shadow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I ended up beating it. It wasn't the high score long. Crocs are natural gamers.
SBO said he saw Shadow enter the library car, but he's mentioned nothing about Shadow's return. He only mentioned that Vector came back. When Shadow left Knuckles and Vector in the saloon car, SBO was fully seated reading his book for a good while at this point. We know Shadow had to walk back through the library car when he left the saloon car. So there's absolutely no way Shadow and SBO didn't notice one another on Shadow's return trip.
I mean, that was a simple slip up. I was just fully immersed in my book that I didn't notice Shadow.
Sorry.
You're telling me that the sound of the doors opening and locking wouldn't have caused you to look up?
Well, you see...
Like I said, SBO's desperation here, defending the argument that he was reading the entire time with the Deacon.
So if you didn't see Shadow returning from the saloon car to lock all the doors, then at that moment, were you really in the library car at all?
But how would SBO leave? Shadow locked all the doors and no one saw SBO in the saloon car.
It's a mystery, my dear Barry. One that I would love for SBO to solve.
You gotta believe me.
That cool demeanor is vanishing.
I was so involved with my book, I didn't notice Shadow passed back through the library car. Honest. When Vector returned, he even had to tap me on the shoulder to get my attention.
Yeah, I think I remember doing that.
I must have meant my friend's step, so I ask you again, SBO. If you weren't there for Shadow to see you reading, then how did you leave the library car?
I wasn't. I didn't.
Why doesn't this seem right to me? Now Stephanie feels like he's onto something, but I don't see it. Is SBO simply reading, or did he somehow vanish and not notice Shadow's return at the library car? What should I do? Oh, pick a side.
No, join Tails.
Yeah.
Because it's a little, like, weird.
Well, I can't interrupt Tails when he's onto something. I'll let him continue his line of questioning and...
Barry, my favorite and beloved employee, please protect the passengers aboard this train. They must be taken care of. If you fail, the lawsuits will be torturous. Don't allow such an old, feeble soul to get sued.
Barry... I have to make sure our guests are taken care of. I have to speak up. Tails!
Huh?
We have a piece of evidence that can answer all of our problems.
All right, my fellow associate, lay it on me. What piece of evidence shows Shadow and SBO couldn't have seen one another?
The map.
It's the map. It's the map. It's the map.
The library map. Oh, I see.
See the exits? They're right across from one another. A straight path. If Shadow walked down this straight path, there's a way SBO and Shadow couldn't have seen one another.
Looks like you'll have to point out exactly where on the map you mean. Where could SBO have been for Shadow to not see him?
I think it's that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because this is another bookshelf.
Interesting. That's where I was sitting, reading my book.
I can second this. When I returned from the saloon car, SBO was in the same spot.
That confirms it then. You see, Shadow and SBO couldn't have seen one another from this spot because a bookcase is in the way.
There's no way Shadow could have seen SBO or vice versa.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense why you never mentioned Shadow's return, SBO. There's just no way you would have seen him.
I apologize for losing my cool back there. I felt like I was grasping despite telling the truth. But I'm glad you all believe me now.
Your alibi isn't the most airtight, but I have no further points. Thank you both for answering all our questions.
We did it! Another pair of alibis validated.
Cool.
So many locked doors to worry about, but I'm glad everything turned itself out in the end.
Well, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna crash here for a bit. These chairs are so comfy.
Likewise, I could use a breather.
Sadly, our work isn't done. I have plenty of questions for Rouge and especially Shadow.
Oh, it seems the door for the next door is open. Amy must have kept it open when she passed through earlier.
Then that's our cue to leave. See you later, Vector and SBO.
Give 'em heck! And if you need any meat chopped up, just say the word.
Now keep my poetry sharp for you both. Murder is on the loose, while doors keep getting locked. Tick-tock goes the clock, while our heroes are in the caboose.
In the caboose.
At this point, I feel pretty confident in our detective abilities. We're really doing this.
Come on, Barry, let's see what's next.
Coming!
Cute!
You sure you don't want to stay and look at all the great books a little longer?
The mystery calls.
Okay, the investigation continues.